So, if you want another great example of how MAGA propaganda, American MAGA propaganda, makes its way into our country up here in Canada, let me just talk about something I recently seen, not only being repeated by like the usual conservative mouthpieces that are on Twitter, but also an actual conservative MP. Okay, so with the government shutdown, if you weren't aware, SNAP recipients, which is basically the U.S. government's way of providing money to people to be in order to buy food, when they're below the poverty line and they're struggling, um, they were not during the government shutdown paying out those benefits. So you had people that weren't getting money for food. And in order to flip this, because Trump could have used emergency funds to continue to fund this and actually had to be told by the court, by higher courts, to do this, but eventually, government got back up going, but he's still like making it difficult for everyone to get their SNAP benefits. He wants to change the rules and the regulations to remove all what he claims is all this fraud and everything. But in order to basically turn the average American against these poor people that are struggling to buy food for their families, the propaganda machine decided to go out there and tell everyone that the reason why groceries are incredibly high in the United States is because 42 million people are getting free food. Not understanding that the government puts money onto a card and then the people go into the store and use that money on the card to buy groceries. So it's not free groceries, not to the grocery store anyway. The grocery store gets paid. Whether they get paid from that SNAP card or they get paid from somebody's debit or credit card or cash, they still get paid. It's not free food. It's free food in the fact that those people didn't have to get that's not their money that they worked for, okay? It's free money from the government, but it's not free groceries from the grocery store. The grocery store is still getting paid, so the grocery store has absolutely no reason to boost their prices. Do you follow the logic here? They still make their money no matter what. So they don't need to boost their prices because they're not giving away free food. The government is. Okay? And the government does not determine what a grocery store sets its prices at. And the government can affect grocery prices with things like tariffs, taxes, that kind of stuff, which we all know Donald Trump's got those great tariffs going on right now. But those 42 million people that are getting nothing to do with them. Nothing. But despite people not understanding this logic, they all are pushing this bullshit out. And those that are just, can't think for themselves, think this is a thing. So the Canadian Conservatives, this MP who's friends with J.D. Vance, by the way, so you know where he's getting his talking points. So he and all of the Canadian conservative mouthpieces decided to try and push the same fucking bullshit propaganda. But this time, because we don't have SNAP in Canada, this time they're saying that the National School Food Program is the reason why groceries are expensive. So they're literally blaming this on children getting free breakfast or lunch to their school. Even though nobody's going to the grocery store and buying this. This is the government all gets everything through suppliers. Money is still being exchanged. There's absolutely no friggin' reason why groceries would be more expensive because of a national food program. And these monsters are going on about how it would be so much easier for parents to buy their kids food if this program was taken away, and thus would result in food prices coming down. I'm sorry, before this program were food prices incredibly low and affordable for people living in poverty? Because I don't fucking remember that. I haven't seen decent food prices in quite a few years. So this bullshit narrative that you're now blaming children who are going hungry because we have a food program, that is fucking demonic. That is the most monstrous, like, the Grinch, okay? The Grinch would look at you and be like, what the fuck is your problem? Are you serious? The Grinch, all right? Ebenezer Scrooge would look at you and think that you're a fucking monster, all right? Like, like every time I think the conservatives couldn't reach a newer low, they do. They do. And the problem is that I would hope that us as Canadians are smarter than that, but I think we're just, there's still going to be those that are still going to believe that bullshit. That they're going to think that the child, okay, this is the child, this is not even the parents, the child that is receiving a free breakfast at school is responsible because Galen Weston and every other fucking grocery store owner out there is boosting prices because they know they can get away with it. And I don't see the Conservatives doing a damn thing about reducing pricing because, oh, well, we live in a capitalist country, kids. We live in a capitalist country and nobody can force corporations to reduce their prices. There's nothing that they can fucking do, but they pretend like they care and they pretend like the liberals can do something about it, yet the Conservatives don't do anything. But because that narrative, I guess, isn't working enough, now they're going to blame kids. Now they're going to blame kids getting a free breakfast at school. So, congratulations. This is why you all lost. And this is why, if you don't change your fucking direction as a Conservative Party, you will continue to lose. Because those of us with brains are not going to fall for this bullshit. And we are certainly not going to fall for you blaming children for the price of groceries.